Thank you, Senator Bishop. Senator Williams.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. Following on from Senator Bishop, could I just congratulate Senator Bishop on a magnificent job, the way you chaired this committee, the way you got involved in it. I think when it was kicked off, Senator Bishop might have had the attitude, is this really necessary, this inquiry? Well, he certainly changed his attitude as we went through it, and I could tell some stories on Senator Bishop's deep involvement in this whole issue, this inquiry into ASIC. Mr Deputy President, there are 61 recommendations from the committee. In my 6 years in this place, I've never known so many recommendations from a Senate inquiry. Perhaps there have been more, but an enormous amount of recommendations. Some things we touched on, Mr Deputy President. Raising the standards of financial planners. I find it amazing, Mr Deputy President, that, as I said in Senate estimates, you can walk out of a shearing shed, do an 8-day, I repeat 8-day, not 8-week, an 8-day crash course. Then you qualify under the Corporations Act to be a financial planner, to advise someone how to invest their millions with an 8-day crash course. Mr Deputy President, what solicitor can become a solicitor after 8 days of a crash course? Or a doctor or a surgeon? Perhaps a liquidator or an accountant? We recommend strongly to raise the bar of the standards of financial planners. The ASIC needs powers. And one thing I look forward to, and hopefully it will be pursued by the government, Mr Deputy President, is that we actually licence every financial planner in Australia, some 30,000. They pay an annual fee, a user pays to finance ASIC, because the situation is, Mr Deputy President, ASIC is spending $33 million a year policing this industry, the financial planners, yet they're collecting less than $3 million in licensing fees. We need to also reduce the compliance costs for financial planners so that we do not face a situation where Australians cannot afford to seek financial advice. That is vital they do. Only 1 in 5 Australians seek financial advice. We need to raise that enormously, especially given that some 30% of superannuation funds now are self-managed. Some $600 billion, 600 B for billion, is self-managed, and these people need good advice so they can grow their superannuation and not be a burden on the taxpayer when they get to retirement. Along with those licences, I'd like to see the powers given to ASIC, Mr Deputy President, as recommended, that at one phone call they can suspend the financial planner's licence, just one call. If they collect the evidence, collated together of wrongdoing, serious wrongdoing, fraud, forgery, etc., then they should have the power to just make one phone call and put that person out of business. Of course, that financial planner should have the right to appeal to the Administrative Appeals Tribunal. Everyone has a right to appeal. Whistleblowers were a big factor of this, Mr Deputy President. I will say that we did have in-camera witnesses, and I have serious concerns about Macquarie Private Wealth. And I urge ASIC to go in and see Macquarie Private Wealth is doing exactly what they should be doing with their enforceable undertaking, to see that the wrongs are righted. We recommend ASIC's funds be topped up for their legal action. It is expensive to go to court, and we must have a regulator who has the money behind them to do their job. One of the great challenges we face now, Mr Deputy President, is to restore faith in the financial planning industry. I believe 99.9% of financial planners are excellent, honest and do the right thing. Like in anything, it is a minority that destroys a reputation. Let's get it to 100%. And as Senator Bishop said, we need ASIC to be proactive. We need them to be harsh. We need them to be forceful. Get rid of the shonky products for sale out there that investors may face. Yeah, I was on an inquiry into Storm Financial. Storm Financial was destined to fail. Once the stock market went down some 20%, it was a basket case, and those products should never have ever been out there for sale, and so much damage and harm was caused to so many people, many of them elderly, in the twilight years of their life, to face being kicked out of their homes. What a terrible, stressful time they must have faced. ASIC did do some good work in relation to that, and some compensation brought forward. Get rid of the bad products, clean out the bad planners, and I do encourage ASIC, as they carry on their reviews, where they see clear evidence of wrongdoing, please consider doing referrals to the DPP for criminal charges. Some of the evidence I've seen clearly forgery and fraud were involved, and those people who do the wrong thing with those serious offences like that must face the judge and the jury in relation to criminal activities. In summary, could I just say it was a very interesting inquiry. Could I thank all the senators involved? Thank you, Senator Bishop, once again for chairing and the way you carried out the inquiry. Senator Whish-Wilson for your input into the inquiry, and Senator Xenophon and others, Senator Dastiari. Could I thank Kathleen Dermody and her staff who worked so hard. 460 odd submissions, a lot of work for the Secretariat, a lot of reporting, and they did a magnificent job. And let's hope, Mr Deputy President, that following this report, we in government act to see that people in Australia can have the total confidence of financial planners in the future. I'm sure we will get a good result. ASIC will do their jobs better, and there's certainly plenty of room for that. Commonwealth Bank have admitted their wrongdoing. Mr Turner at the AGM of Commonwealth Bank said their culture was wrong, their policy was wrong, their advice was wrong, and they need to carry out their duties with the enforceable undertaking and see that people are compensated correctly. And as I said, Macquarie ought to have a look in the mirror as well. Thank you, Mr Deputy President.